English story as the head coach of the Friars, a former assistant under Tad Boyle for 2 years. He's had quite a career, rising up only 37 years old. There's the opening tip, and it is won by Providence. First time these two teams have ever met. Here comes Floyd. He'll bring it forecourt. Both teams dressed in black, full black for the Providence Friars. The Buffaloes, of course, white trimmed in black and gold. Floyd out top, alley-oop inside, knocked away. Outstanding defense that time, rolling over and swatting that one out of bounds was Elijah Malone as they try to get it to their big man, Arunse, inside.
Malone showed some quickness there. He was beat. He recovered nicely on that play.
Buffaloes get a man-to-man defense on the out-of-bounds play. Floyd will bring it in. There's Edwards. He is a bucket, man. That guy could score with a basketball. Out top, fake of the three, back to Edwards. He'll let fly for three. Missed it badly, and Ronchik has got the rebound. The Buffaloes so far this season +6 per ball game on the glass. They're going to need that here tonight. Here are the starters for the Buffaloes. Ronchik, Dak, Caceres, Hargress, and Elijah Malone inside. Hargress has got it out top, the transfer. He's going to orchestrate for the Buffaloes. Coming off the big screen by Malone. Jump past cross-court Caceres to Dak in the corner. Late in the shot clock. Backs his way down against a smaller player. Down to the two. Fader up and missed it badly. Now the errant shot taken away by Providence.
Didn't have good balance when he went up to shoot that.
Well, he had a big size advantage. Sellers has it out top. On the far side to Mila. Kind of a role player for them. Three ball is on the way. Misses that one off the back iron. Malone clears the glass for Colorado. Buffaloes do want to run, despite the fact that they're both high-scoring teams. Dak up top to Malone. Sets the feet. He can make the three, and he missed that one. Rebound deflected. Here comes Providence. They will push, despite the fact they come from sea level. Down the paint, Sellers had that one blocked away. But the Friars got it back. Floyd will let fly for three. Misses. They're 0 for 3 from downtown. Now the Buffs transition.
Buffs have been getting good challenges on all those shots.
Hargress on the right side. That's all they've worked on this week in practice is defense. Malone bounces inside, intended for Dak. Nearly poked away at a foul from behind on Corey Floyd.
And you see they're playing bang out with a much smaller player.
That is a tough matchup defensively for the Friars.
And he can't try to go through Bangat on that reach in there.
Non-shooting foul. And so the Buffaloes will inbound under the Friars basket. Malone to Ronchik. Hargress left open. Fires the three, and he hits from downtown. And the Buffaloes knock down the first points of the ballgame.
Good execution on that out-of-bounds play. That's the pin down that led to that shot up top.
There's a defensive foul by Malone. He just stepped out in front. Number 1 on the Buffaloes.
That's the old screen the screener play. Hard to set the back screen, and then he comes off the pin down by Malone, ready to shoot.
You don't think of Hargress as a big-time three-point shooter, but he's a capable shooter.
No, he's old school. He likes the mid-range. You don't see a lot of players shooting the mid-range like he does anymore.
Arunse out top. Friars with it. On the right side to Mila. Against Dak, working against that length. Floyd will control. Buffaloes all week working on defense, and now the Friars make a mistake and they throw it away. The cross-court pass intended for Stephen Fox. Tad Boyle, the head coach of the Buffaloes, in his 16th season here in Boulder, the winningest coach in program history. This one here tonight means a lot to him.
Yeah, you know, a former pupil of his on the other sideline, so you know they want to win that one tonight.
Tim English has said that he learned his coaching foundation during his 2 years with Tad Boyle here in Boulder. Then he went to George Mason, actually Tennessee, then George Mason. Inside Malone for the dunk, and he got it knocked away inside. Dak got it back. Power move, clutch, inside, knocks it down. Now the Bucks are on top 5-0.
I like to see Dak going through contact like he did on that play.
Floyd down the paint, had that one swaddled away, and a foul called from under the baskets. This is what you like to see from Dak. Physical play inside despite his lack of thickness.
Yeah, you can see he gave a little body shot there, and he goes up strong right through the contact. You can tell he liked it as well.
So the foul went against the Buffaloes. Felix Caceres. And that is going to send Corey Floyd to the free throw line. Redshirt senior, transfer from UConn out of Franklin, New Jersey. Knocks the first one down. His father, Corey Floyd Sr., played for the Friars back in the early 1990s.
Mark, when you missed the game last week when you were doing football against Eastern Washington, Caceres got in foul trouble early and was really never got a chance to get in the flow of that game.
He's the guy as Floyd knocks them both down to make it 5-2. Substitutions coming. He's the guy, I think, for Tad Boyle's team, Scott, that when Tad talks about being a capable defensive team, he thinks Caceres is a guy that might be leading the pack right now.
Yeah, in our post-game interview, Tad said he's our best perimeter defender, and without him out there a lot in that last game, that affected their team defense.
Friars extending their defense now. Hargress in the paint, jump pass down low on the block. Malone, little baby hook is up and good. Nice looking shot for Elijah Malone, but it came off the penetration by Hargress.
Yeah, and he used a shot fake as well. If you got a shot blocker there, you got to use those shot fakes.
Edwards out top on the right side. Fox, good-looking freshman, fires and misses. Caceres with a long rebound, and the Buffs are on the run. Dak on the left side. The ball fake, the show and go with contact, misses inside, and a defensive foul goes against the Friars. Look at the big fella here, Elijah Malone. He is so much, I think, a little bit more adept inside than he was a year ago, Scott.
A little more aggressive than we saw him last year, and it just looks more comfortable, Mark. Doesn't get ahead in a hurry there out there on plays like that.
Stephen Fox picked up the foul for the Friars. Man got Dak at the free throw line. Dak in the season 4 of 9 from the stripe. He has struggled from the line so far.
That one looked good. And Mark, he has under 50% from the field as well. You know, I don't think he's really hit his stride yet.
Now we see Alone McKaylee come in for the first time. Freshman for the Buffaloes out of Israel. They like what the kind of physicality he brings to the team.
I really like how he's played for Colorado. You can tell he's an experienced freshman.
Dak knocked them both down. Buffaloes on top by 7. Here comes Edwards and the Friars up a high screen. Kick out right side to Mila. Back up top, Edwards fired a 3 from downtown. And watch out, if you get him going, man, he can score it. He's 6 of 19 from downtown.
That was not good communication on Colorado's defense on that play.
Ronchik penetrating, gets it to Dak. Oh, he bobbled it, lost it off his leg, or yes, out of bounds. It goes to Friars. Go back to that shot by Edwards, Scott. He hasn't been a great three-point shooter, but he's a quantity guy.
Yeah, and that when he was all alone, and most college players can hit that kind of shot, especially a guard if you're wide open like that.
The Buffaloes turn the basketball over. They're only averaging 9 turnovers a game so far in this early portion of the season.
That was actually a good pass by Ronchik. Should have led to a dunk.
Yep. Jones in the paint. Powell left side for 3, fires and misses. Long rebound, Hargress up court to Dak. Buffs on the run, back to Hargress. Stop and go, down the paint, through contact. Had it swatted away, Powell got it, and the steal.
He forced that one.
Fox to the rim against Ronchik, missed it at a foul. Ronchik got back, tried to stay vertical.
Broadcaster here, I see a lot of players, I played against their dads.
Yeah. Well, Ted said to me, well, you were broadcasting those games when he was playing for Missouri, weren't you? And I said, well, yeah, but you're older than I am. Second toss-up and good as Fox hits 1 of 2. Here's the thing about Kim English, Scott. We knew when he was here. He was only like 32 years old. We knew he was going to climb the ladder quickly. He's a talented, charismatic guy.
Yeah, very charismatic and good speaker, and a guy that you just always professional the way he carried himself.
Ronchik misses the turnaround. Friars away with it. Here comes the Friars down the paint, hanging in the air. Goes Cole Hargrove, and a whistle.
Offensive, he kicked his leg out.
Kicked his leg out, kind of used that left arm for separation. Ronchik doing a good job just staying vertical there, Scott. That was kind of the key for him.
Yeah, straight up, and that was a pretty obvious offensive foul by Hargrove.
He's a transfer as Hargrove from Drexel. Senior for this Friar basketball team. 10 new players, 5 returners from a year ago. Buffaloes with the basketball. Isaiah Johnson, contact, lost the handle, down with the defender. And now they have changed the call. Initially, they said it was in favor of Providence. And then they changed the call along the baseline there. We'll get a look at it.
Mark, you remember a few years ago, that was an automatic foul call. They've let the play get back to physical play again.
Yep. Daquan Davis apparently had that one go off, yeah. All right, Hargress inbound. Creeping up on the 15-minute mark. Buffaloes on top by 3. Holland just came in to Ronchik. Good show and go there. Up top to Hargress. Step back, crosses over, down the paint, high up the window, missed it. And Powell's got the rebound. And the Providence Friars on the break. Fox couldn't keep the handle, turns it over. McKaylee Holland to the paint, reverse slant. That's good body control right there. That was not an easy catch for a freshman.
No, it was a difficult shot. He was a bit off balance. He had to finish with the left hand under the hoop.
Buffaloes right now shooting 40%. Friars only get 14, 1 of 7. The freshman Fox out top to Davis. On the block, picks up his dribble. Cross court to Jones for 3. Oh, we missed it badly. Powell tried to save it, missed, trying to throw it on Holland, and the Bucks have it.
5-on-4 situation.
Yep. Penetrating freshman to the rim with the left hand, and the bucket's up and good by Jalen Holland. He's got 4. Colorado on top by 7.
You did not see Providence get back well in that possession.
Fox to the paint. Stop and pop there by the freshman out of Estonia.
Freshman, but he's 20 years old.
Good-looking player. Estonia, beautiful country. Colorado basketball. O'Kayla to the rim. Nice diagonal cut down the paint. Got by Hargrove and lays it up with the right hand.
That's a quick move for a big fella. Finish off the right leg, the off leg, if you will.
O'Kayla had 11 points in his debut last Saturday against Eastern Washington. Fox nearly had it stripped away. Got it off to Hargrove. Back to Fox.
Wow.
And he knocked down the 3 from straight away. He is really a skilled freshman. Buffaloes by 4. Canley works the dribble on top.
Missed Holland on the back cut.
Ronchik open for 3. Missed it, long rebound. And now the Friars have it. Neither team is going to slow this game down, are they? I mean, it is up and down the court. Getting quickly into their sets. Davis fading. Bottom of the circle, and he rattles that one home. The iron is kind.
You see one-on-one basketball a lot from the Providence Friars. 3, 4, 5 dribbles on their moves.
Holland, oh, nice pick and roll. Cut to McKinley for the slam. The athletic director emeritus here at the University of Colorado. Rick has made an enormous impact on this institution and this athletic department over the course of his 13 years. There's a foul out top. Offensive foul against Providence, but Rick has really been phenomenally impactful.
Yeah, and you know, he's a guy that's really a visible AD. You know, you see him around, you see him talking, you see him at games here all the time. He's not one of those guys that's in the, you know, the office doing it. He's out there a lot, which I've always liked about him.
The only thing I'm worried about is what Nancy's going to do, since he's not going to have nearly as much to do. He'll be home a lot more. But no, we're going to miss Rick's daily leadership and energy around the athletic department. Buffaloes. Josiah Sanders has checked in.
13 years, but he's associated with school a lot longer than that.
That's right, yeah. Was here with Bill McCartney back in the day when they won the national championship on the PGA, Major League Baseball. There's Josiah Sanders down the paint. Nearly got knocked away, but a reaching foul is called against the Friars. And Jalen Sellers picks up his first foul. NCAA tournament soccer going on tonight in the first round, and Utah Valley has got the lead 1-0 over the Buffaloes early in that one at Prenta Field tonight. 12-minute mark, so still very early in that contest.
Have you ever called a soccer game, Mark?
Been a very long time. Long time. Holland gives it a backdoor cut. Nice grab inside by Dak. He's double teamed. Big fella. Dribble to clear himself, and a reach-in foul. Ken English not happy about that one. Neither is Sellers.
Bang should not be putting the ball down there where the little guys can get at it.
Second foul on Sellers. It was a tough catch, but with his length, Scott, you're right. Keep it up top, right?
Yeah, he brings it down and dribbles, and that's where they get at it.
Well, that makes it tough when you're the visiting team and you're trying to play physical defense, if it's being called that way. And one of the leading scorers goes out now with 2 fouls. Caceres has got it for Colorado. Buffaloes by 4. The sophomore left of the lane to Dak. Shot clock down to 5. Kick out to Caceres. And you've got a defensive foul called on Jason Edwards on the post-up by Bengat Dak.
Yeah, he was pushing him in the back, giving up a lot of size, and he figures he's got to play physical defense. You see, he's got an arm bar. That's how we were taught to play defense, but right. That's a two-handed shove as well.
Well, Scott, back in the Stone Age when you played, you were allowed to do that.
You were.
In modern basketball, the arm bar is just not allowed at all.
No, we were taught that way, but quite a few years ago, they took that away, and not only did he have the arm bar, you saw him put 2 hands in the back. That's where it's really a defensive foul.
And already with 11:34 to play here in the first half, the Buffaloes are now in the bonus. That was team foul number 7 against Providence. So Bangot Dak knocked down 2 early. Misses that one. And the offensive rebound away to Malone. And the Buffs maintain. Give it off to Dak. Couldn't handle it. And now the Buffs turn it over.
Should have bounced it.
Yep. Up court. Nice throw ahead. And Jones misses the mini alley-oop, if you will. Buffaloes with it. Holland, the freshman, offensive foul. You saw that coming from a mile away.
He had a lot of opportunity to jump stop there or pull it back.
You get overextended a little bit. This is where you talk about getting out of control a little bit, don't you?
Yeah.
Look at the extension with the right arm.
Yeah. And it wasn't that much contact. The guy really sold it, but he should have pulled that up 10, 15 feet earlier.
Well, you had Malone posting right there in the paint. Could have hit him. You had a man behind you. Learning moment for the freshman. And he gets talked to by Nate Tomlinson. Floyd in the paint for the Friars. Buffaloes on top by 4. Edwards. Got 3 points thus far. Floyd driving. Nearly had it knocked away by Roger. Gets it back to Edwards. Shot clock is at 5. Work it right side. Floyd, high arcing 3. Air ball. And Josiah Sanders has it.
Good high hand check challenge there by Ronchik.
Buffaloes, the player of the year in the state of Colorado. Gives it a right corner to Dak. Backs his way down against Mila. Fakes left, spins over the right shoulder, throws it up. Shot blocked away by Arunse. He's averaging over 3 a game. Fast break in the corner. Floyd rattles in the iron unkind. End-to-end action. Again, the Buffs in transition. Ronchik left the ball behind him, and he turned it over.
Lost his footing there.
Yep, a little out of control.
Now Providence has an advantage, 5-on-4.
Miller out top. Edwards penetrating down the paint, double clutch, and he missed it. And the rebound away to Caceres. 29% for the field. Ronchik, contact, offensive foul. Right now, we expected, Scott, the pace to be up and down, but it's getting a little bit out of control.
Yeah, that's another situation where Caceres led to that turnover. He should not have passed it to Ronchik in that situation.
That is 2 fouls now on Sebastian Ronchik for the Buffaloes. There you go, Scott. You gave it to the big man out in space.
That's a good call. He was definitely set. Ronchik ran right into him. Caceres gave it to him with 1 step. Caceres should have dribbled that out to the sideline and waited for help.
So Ronchik goes out of the ball game now with 2 fouls. Has not scored yet for Colorado. Been a bit of a drought here for 2.5 minutes. Edwards in the paint, missed it. Now the rebound to Malone. Boy, Flyers can't buy a bucket. Hargress to the Buffaloes. Right wing to Malone out top. Sanders. Physical. Defender goes down, gives to Dak in the paint, dumps it off to Malone with a man on up the window. Missed it, foul tip by Bangot Dak. All the length of the 7-foot junior for the Buffaloes, and Colorado's on top by 6. That snaps almost a 3-minute drought for the Buffs. Mila to the rim, reverse layup, nice play with a sophomore out of Massachusetts.
Not good defense by Bangot there. He went right around him and he tried to swipe it from behind.
Just over 9 to play here in Boulder. They use Malone out top. He's such a good passer. Caceres drives under the basket. Kick out behind Malone with a ball fake. In the paint. Physical. Reverse layup is up and good. Knifing play that time for the 270-pound Elijah Malone. He's got 4.
Didn't see a lot of guys want to step in on the charge on that one.
Nope. You better kind of cinch it up if you're going to do that. Mila down the paint. Floater is up and good. Nice spin move. Mila's hit 2 in a row.
And you see the lid is finally coming off for Providence.
They're now shooting 33% from the field. The Buffaloes right at 50 in the ball game. Right about where they are this season so far. Hargress against Edwards in the paint. A lot of contact and a foul. And if that went against Edwards, and apparently it didn't, it was Cole Hargrove coming over on the help side. Hargrove, he just picked up his 2nd foul of the ball game. Take a look at this bucket here by Elijah Malone. Big fella's got some pretty good feet.
Shot fake and go there, and you see the help there could have been helped by number 11, but he wasn't interested in stepping in there.
Here's the foul on the drive by Hargress. Got him up top. A little clothesline that time by Cole Hargrove.
I think Hargress wanted him to look at it for a possible flagrant foul.
So now Barrington Hargress at the foul line for the Buffaloes. 2 of 4 in the young season from the free throw line. Here comes Elijah Johnson back in now for the Buffaloes.
And Providence, the high-scoring team as they are, up and down, they play a lot of guys. They play 9-10 guys, and they have 6 guys averaging double figures. So to go deep into their bench like they are with the foul trouble is not a big thing for them.
Isaiah Johnson, the freshman out of Los Angeles, averaging almost 21 points per ball game early this season. He is going to be a special player for Colorado.
And it's been the second half for him, Mark, in those first 2 ball games. Scored all 24 in the first game in the second half. And in the second game, I think he had 15 in the second half.
Slow starter, you're saying, huh? Second free throw by Hargress. Buffaloes by 6, 23-17. Just over 8 minutes to play here in half number 1. First time the Friars have ever played in the state of Colorado. Jones over the bucket, nearly threw it away. Got it off to Powell. Edwards on the dribble. McKaylee off the switch. Tough guard there. Step back. Oh, that was a nice offensive move by Jason Edwards. He's got 5.
Oh, he's quick. Start and stop. He got the big man moving, McKaylee, and he couldn't stop. And
23-19. That's a tough guard for McKaylee. He's got it right now. Down the paint to the rim. Had it blocked away that time by Jones. Friars with it. Powell. Up court, gives off in the paint. Floater left short by Jones. McKaylee has got the rebound. Johnson on the run. Stop and go against Edwards through contact to the rim with the left hand. That was a tough shot through contact by the slightly built freshman.
Yeah, and you don't usually see freshmen going through contact like that, but it doesn't bother Johnson.
Now we got a whistle to foul out top with 7:18 to play in the first half. Isaiah Johnson, Bus fans like what he's going to be in the future, but he's pretty darn good right now. Top bucket for the freshman. Colorado on top by 6.
The really good coaches. They've had Rick Pitino, Rick Barnes. Wow, his box knocks down a really tough one. He's a heck of an offensive player.
Good looking player. Yeah, Providence, you think of Rick Pitino was there, took him to the Final Four back in 1987. You think it's Dave Gavitt's been a coach there.
Yeah.
Rick Barnes, you mentioned Pitino, now Kim English. There's Hargress to the rim with the right hand. Oh, he may not be tall, but he went up over the top of a big man with the right hand. And Hargress gives the Buffaloes now a 5-point lead. Good looking play by the senior guard. Here's Fox again. Freshman swings it right side. Floyd backing down. Johnson leans in, trying to use some strength. Got it to go off the window.
He overpowered Johnson on that play.
Yep. That's a fifth-year senior against an 18-year-old freshman right there.
Exactly.
McKaylee spins into paint. Floater with the right hand. How about that freshman move for the Buffaloes?
I like his offensive game. He's strong. Quick off his feet, too, for a big fella.
And I tell you what, there's a confidence about him, the way he kind of conducts himself. There's Powell to the rim. Jump pass to Edwards on the left against Caceres. Tough guard there. Quickness. Ball knocked away. And a foul called against the Buffaloes.
I think that's Caceres' second foul.
Get a look at this one here. Caceres is a very good defensive play, but that's from a quickness standpoint and a size standpoint. That's a tough matchup for him.
Yeah, but he's got to still learn to stay down. I mean, he's got the length. He will bother some people if he stays on the floor. He went for the shot fake there and led to the foul.
His body type, Scott, as Edwards is at the free throw line, knocks the first one down. He's built for defense.
Yeah, he still reminds me of Nick Clifford. I say that all the time, but similar size, similar length on the arms, and similar athletic ability as well, I think, to Nick Clifford.
Yeah, Caceres goes out. Josiah Sanders replaces him.
Who's having a great rookie year, by the way, for the Sacramento Kings.
Really is. Both free throws by Edwards up and good. The former Buff and CSU Ram, Nick Clifford, one of the great young men you'll ever be around too.
Really nice guy. Like,
yep.
One of the nicest kids I've been around as a broadcaster.
Buffaloes on top by 3. Hargress in the paint. Head fake once, twice, puts it up and in. That's a tough shot right there for the 6'1" Hargress.
He loves that mid-range.
He's got 9. Friars, Floyd. Working the dribble against Johnson. Really extended the right hand, didn't get called. Missed the shot, and Sanders the rebound. Here come the Buffaloes on the run. the freshman. Bounces off to another freshman. Holland to a third, to a fourth freshman. McKaylee from the left side, and he misses the jumper. Floyd's got the rebound.
Well, that was a good break right there, though.
Good ball movement. Got a real good look. Mila penetrating against McKaylee. Leans in, contact, counted, and a foul.
Boy, Mila and Vox are two very good offensive players. Good size, good ball handling ability. You see Mila here, multiple dribbles, step through, and goes right into the contact.
Good offense. And the foul on McKaylee. That's number 8 on the Buffaloes now. And Mila is at the free throw line. 6'7" sophomore out of Massachusetts. Left the first one short. Bucks have got the rebound. Way short. Oh, that one. 31-28, Colorado by 3 with 5 minutes to play here in the first half. Look at all the freshmen out there for Colorado. 4 freshmen and a senior. Holland down the lane. Offensive foul.
He must have hooked with that left hand. Sometimes they wrap it around the hip of the defender.
On the drive, the freshman will confused by that one. We'll take a look here to see if he got that elbow. Use the hook. There it is right there. Yep.
Yeah.
That was opposite us. Greg Nixon had a great view of that one.
And it doesn't look like a lot, but it does give you leverage against that defender.
That's another turnover against the Buffaloes. Buffs with 6 right now. Mila against Holland. Working right side. Davis for 3. Halfway down, popped out. Offensive rebound inside of Runze. Had it knocked away. The Buffs have got it. Turnover Friars. Holland went through his hands. He chases it down. Kick out. Johnson head fake. Steps left. Fires a 3. Shot won't go. High rebound for Sanders. And he got hammered inside. Ball out of his hands and out of bounds. Looks like he took a shot to the head.
Sanders so reminds me of George King, the way he flies in from that wing and crashes the offensive glass like that.
Aggressive player. Oh, they could have called one there.
Should have been a foul.
Runze got the arm, but the Buffs maintain possession. Lob it on top to McKaylee. Hargress orchestrating to the right elbow. Floater. Rattles. Ironed is Codd. And Barrington Hargress, the first player in double digits. He's got 11.
Nice touch on that jumper there. Multiple touches on the rim. It still drops in.
Buffaloes by 5. Floyd in the right wing to Davis. They work it out top. Buffs stay in the man-to-man defense. Floyd had it knocked away by McKinley. Stolen by Sanders. Up court to the rim. Hangs in the air. Shot won't go. Holland with a follow. And did they blow the whistle there? 3:46 to play in the first half. 33-28. By the way, some sad news out of the Providence program. Scott on 11 points, 3 assists, no turnovers, 2 rebounds, veteran presence. You know, he averaged over 20 a game last year.
Yeah, if you average 20 in any league, Mark, you're getting it done. And he did that last year for UC Riverside.
Buffaloes at the free throw line. Josiah Sanders coming out of the timeouts. And the freshman from right here in Colorado misses his first. He's 1 of 8 from the foul line on the young season. Left-handed toss. Boy, he can't buy one, can he? Rebound away to Providence.
1 for 9 is even worse than Shaq.
Mila, coast to coast, missed it badly over the top of Sanders. Malone with the rebound. Sanders has got it with a head of steam. And there's a whistle and a reach in out of the right wing. Getting the foul that time was number 3, Daquan Davis. That'll put Sanders back at the foul line, so he's got more chance to work on that 1 of 9 from the free throw line. After
just missing 2, it's not a fun place to be when you're 1 for 9 for the season.
We talked about the way he rebounds, and there you go, knocked one down. The way he rebounds, Scott. The physical aspect of his game for only being a freshman is what impresses early on with him.
Yeah, the first time I met him, you know, he had a tank top on. He looked like a running back. He's built that way.
Yep.
He's got that physicality to his body and how he plays.
And he knocked 2 free throws down. And the Buffs are on top by 7. 3.5 to play in the first half. Providence with the basketball. They're 38% to the field. From downtown, only 3 of 12. Johnson nearly had the steal. Friars get it back. Mila looking for Fox. Play clock's at 5. Davis step through, and a travel was called. He got happy feet.
The jump stop was not a jump stop, a two-footed. It was a 1-2. That's why that was illegal move for him.
That's okay when you're dancing, just not when you're playing basketball.
The old 1-2.
That's right. Colorado's got it. That's 7 turnovers now against Providence. 3 minutes to play here in the first half.
We have 6 players in this game that have 2 fouls already, 3 on each team.
Sanders, kick out in the corner, wide open. Johnson fires and misses. Long rebound. Johnson's got it. Bounces inside of Malone. Head fake off the windows, up and good. That's a good job as a shooter. If you don't hit it, you stay after it.
Follow your shot.
Malone has got 6. Buffalo's on top by 9. Jones open for 3. Left him smack wide open. His first three-pointer of the season for the Friars.
There was no one within 15 feet of him.
That's a defensive breakdown. Colorado basketball. Hargress out top. Very sure ball handler. Against the crouching defensive Jones. Looks to drive by and can't get a step. Up top to Inman. Good shooter. To Johnson, play clock at 5. Out top to Hargress, down to 3. Step back, 3 on the way, and I think Jones got a piece of that one.
Buffs didn't get good movement on that possession.
Edwards stops and pops in transition for the foul line and knocked it down. He's got 9.
You mentioned he's a one-man fast break. That was a good example right there.
He gets down the court rather quickly. And very crafty with the ball in his hands. Buffaloes on offense in the left side, fires the 3. Tough shot, offensive rebound inside Malone. His putback is up and in. Elijah Malone has got 8, and the Buffaloes now are +9 rebounding.
He is rebounding much better this year for Colorado.
Malone so far 8 points, 5 rebounds. Edwards looking to draw contact, and he got it. That's a veteran play right there against the freshman Ian Inman. Take a look at the big fella back here in that offensive rebound inside, Scott.
Yeah, good offensive rebound position, and he just overpowered the defender there on the putback.
He kind of had Powell, who's 200, almost 50 pounds, with one arm and grabbed the ball with the other. Edwards at the foul line, knocks the first one down. Hey, coming up at halftime. Speaking of Josiah Sanders, we caught up with him in Media Day. We'll talk with the freshman from right here in Colorado. Run down the first half highlights and the stats will get you ready for the second half here in Boulder. Edwards hits the second of 3.
Josiah is a friendly young guy too, isn't he?
He really is.
And
impressive kid.
Kind of maturity for his age.
Yeah. You know, I think the way that players now play in the various levels, high school and AAU and all the things they do, there's more media, there's social media. They're much more mature than you and I were at 18, 19
yes,
years
much
old.
more.
Yep.
I'll admit, I was pretty green coming out of Iowa.
Well, you didn't use anything over 2-syllable words for many, many years when you got here to Boulder, did you? 39-36, Buffaloes by 3. Because you growing up in Iowa, you're not quite as sophisticated as those of us were growing up in North Dakota. McKaylee turns it over. And now Mila throws it away. Sanders to the rim with the left hand, missed it. McKaylee with a foul tip, missed it. And Mila battling for the rebound.
You'd like to see McKaylee come down with that.
Yep. Inside the final minute, 45 seconds remaining. Buffaloes by 3. They haven't been clean down the stretch of this half. Edwards in the short corner, inside. Arunse with a slam. Big fella throwing it down. 1-point lead for the Buffaloes. And now Tad Boyle wants a timeout to talk over this final possession. There is about a 6-second differential roughly between a game clock and a shot clock. Nice penetration this time. Edwards off the right side, finding the big man inside. That's easy pickings right there.
Yeah, the weak side defense there. Inman was late coming across the lane. He should have been there before the pass, but
their last possession, they lead it by 1. Johnson to McKaylee up top. He's going to take it to the rim, throws it up, and Arunse with a block. Providence has got it. 17 seconds remaining.
I think that was the design play. McKaylee going from the top of the key like that.
Yeah, Arunse's the kind of guy averaging 3.5 blocks per ball game. He knew he was coming. Down to 5 seconds. Edwards with a long three-pointer and missed it badly. Hargress with it down to 1. He'll fire three-quarter court off the glass. And we come to halftime with the Buffaloes holding a 1.
He'll get the rebound.
Buffaloes will start the second half of the basketball. Bang got Dak had a little bit of a defensive mishap. He came out of the ball game, didn't play for much of the latter portions of the first half. He'll inbounds, and here comes Hargress. Now the Buffaloes on top by 1 as we get this second half underway. Malone against Arunse, looks for the step through. Kick out. Caceres on the drive. Bounces down low to Dak from behind. Stolen by Mila. Nice defense. Got to seal him off. Step back by Edwards. Mila against Dak. Head fake. He's got the length, does Dak. No shot. Lob it up top to Sellers, who was quiet in the first half. Down the paint, off the window, missed it, followed tip, missed inside by Sellers, and the Bucks have it.
Good deep by Ronchik without fouling, because he's already got 2 fouls.
He was limited as a result of the first half. Ronchik on the left wing. Had it knocked away, got it back. Drives, spins away from the defender. Out top to Malone. Low bounce pass, right of the lane. Dak against Mila. Goes to work. Leans in, bounces off the defender. Long hook shot, and it came up way short. Fired that one from 8, shot at only 6.
He didn't know what he wanted to do down there on the block.
No. Mila high up the window, and the Friars have got the lead. You talk all the time, Scott, about a big man's got to have a default move.
Like a go-to,
Yep.
like your favorite shot that you shoot a high percentage, and I'm not sure Bangkok still has that in his repertoire.
Caceres floater down the paint, and a blocking foul. Greg Nixon kind of laughing at himself, the referee. He was going to call offense, and then he caught himself. And it pointed to his head like, I got to think correctly. That was a good call right there.
He wasn't squared up.
No.
We always talk about how you got to take it in the chest. That was on the side.
So the foul on Edwards, that is his second. He's not quite convinced of the call. Caceres is at the free throw line.
So they call it on the drive before the shot, or they count in the bucket?
That's the question right now. And now the officials will come together.
No, they're taking it out underneath.
I was going to say, I didn't think it was in the act. I thought it was on the drive, Scott. Now, Greg Nixon's having his conversation with Tad Boyle. Something tells me Tad won't be entirely accepting of the call, but nonetheless. 90 minutes expired here in the second half. Hargress bringing in the paint. Malone, floater with the left hand. He has got such a soft touch. For being a big man, he's got 10. Bucks back on the top by 1.
That's a tough shot. 8 to 10 footer off with your offhand.
Edwards, step back. Oh, is he quick? Fires and misses. Dak, the rebound. Outlet to Hargress. Buffaloes on the run. Off a high screen. Down the paint to the window. And he kisses it softly. And it's up and in for Barrington Hargress. He's got 13. Other side, Fox for 3. Missed it.
Get a shot up in about 3 seconds. Does Providence sometimes.
Ronchik drives to the paint in the traffic, kisses that one up the window. Got a little pick set inside there by Malone, and Ronchik has got his first points of the night.
That's a big pick too. Elijah putting his butt on the defender there.
6-0 run. It's like running behind the Flatirons here in the front range. Floyd has it out top. Penetrating reverse layup, wild shot. And a bailout call.
I think they got it on Elijah.
They did. Number 2 on Elijah Malone. Number 1 of the Buffaloes here in the second half. Let's take a look at this. Sebastian
Ronchik's man is playing the middle here. It gives him down the baseline, so Ronchik takes advantage.
And then again, a nice screen inside there by Elijah Malone, kind of freeing up a little space for Ronchik. Coming off that 24-point ball game on Saturday against Eastern Washington. He's got only 2 here tonight. Floyd's at the free throw line now for the Friars. He's hit all 3 of his free tosses in this ball game. McKaylee comes in for the Buffaloes. Malone goes out. Having words with Bangkok Dak. Floyd has 1 more coming.
And the student section has an interesting mixture of distractions up there.
There's a lot to look at down there.
Yeah, I see Peggy.
Peggy, you got Ronchik, you got LeBron. There's Rick George up there, the athletic director.
Some emojis.
And Floyd was not bothered by any of it. Great focus. 3-point ball game. Buffaloes with the lead. Ronchik driving against Fox. Backs his way down. The hook shot with the right hand, and it's swatted up and out of bounds by Arun. Dak was making the goaltending signal. I don't know that it was coming down at the time, though.
It was close.
Very close.
You know, when a 6'11" guy shoots a jump hook, he's up there pretty up by the rim already.
Short corner jumper by McKaylee off the inbounds. Missed it. Friars with it. Here comes Floyd. Throws it ahead. Jones in the paint. Up and good. And it's a one-point game.
Boy, they get it up in a hurry.
You better have your track shoes on and get back in defense against Providence. McKaylee, freshman for the Buffaloes. Man-to-man defense by the Friars. Hargress gets the return. Give it off to McKaylee. Sets the feet, fires a three. Right between the eyes from downtown. That's the first three-pointer of his young career. And alone, McKaylee has got 9. Buffaloes on top by 4.
You know, McKaylee isn't shy. He gets shots up in a hurry. He's got 10 shot attempts already.
He has got such a mature game for being a freshman. I know he's played a lot of international competition in basketball. Edwards to Floyd on the left side. Shot clock at 7. Drives and a hand-checking foul on alone McKaylee. That's his second. Take a look at that shot by McKaylee on the other end.
He steps in rhythm. You see catch and just right in rhythm into his shot. Those are the best threes right there. But down here, he was guarding a quicker player, and I can tell you from experience, it's a bad feeling when you're a big man and someone's coming at you that you just know is a lot faster than you.
You big guys don't like the ankle biters, do you? When you're defending them, you don't like it. When they're defending you down the block, it's
yeah, that's fun. That's fun.
Friars inbounding. Edwards, quick hoist to the three, and he knocked it down for the corner.
That's Colorado's play. They run the same play,
yep.
So you should know how to defend it.
15 now for Edwards. Pacing the Friars. Buffaloes by 1. Dak down the paint, runs into the rotating defense of Cole Hargrove. Got a foul called on Hargrove. Edwards, such a refined offensive player, Scott, just to catch and to shoot right
Comes
here.
off that screen, and he's ready to shoot when he catches it. Quick release there from the corner, and Felix just didn't get there in time.
He is on the Naismith and the Jerry West watch list for those respective national awards. Inbounding. Ronchik, right side, open three. Nothing but net from downtown.
Very similar play that Providence just ran on the other end and out of bounds.
Quickly, Edwards down the lane, and what a tough shot he made with the right hand up the window.
Boy, he is an aggressive offensive player.
17 points for Edwards. Buffs on top by 2. Dak. Out top to Caceres. Finding a seam, trying to get by Edwards. Overpowers the smaller guard. Right to the iron. And Felix Caceres, the young man out of Montreal, with his first points.
That's a good recognition there. He knew the smaller player was retreating. Don't give it up. Just take it right over the top.
Buffaloes by 4. Edwards, long three. Missed that one. Dak with the rebound. Buffs on the run. 7-footer's going to lead the break. Give it off to McKaylee. Jump pass inside. Caceres quickly gets it off the window. And a quick timeout called by Kim English and the Providence Friars. The Buffs hit 4 in a row and transition really working out in the favor of Colorado with 15:10 to play. The Buffaloes on top 55-49 over the Friars.
Danny Manning, the assistant coach, was talking about there's the top 5 and 6, 7 teams that are really good, but after that, the league is pretty even. There's a lot of parity at the bottom half of the league, so you just got to win at home. That's the thing about the league.
Watching this team grow up this season is going to be a lot of fun. Mila's got it now for the Friars. Here's the alley-oop. Arunse and a slam inside. Nice play by the Friars.
Isaiah Johnson on the weak side. He's got to step in there and get some body on that big fella.
Do you want to step in there and get in front of him? As big as he is? 55-51. Buffaloes by 4. Colorado right now plus 10 rebounding, plus 18 points in the paint. McKaylee against Jones. Here comes a double team. Kick out to Ronchik. Tries by Amila. On his way to the hoop. Shovels off to Malone. And a soft touch inside. That was a nice drive. Draw on a dish that time by Ronchik. Malone has got 12.
Good job by a big man on the dribble there to keep his eyes up.
Edwards with the miss and Arunse with the putback flush. Oh, he's a big body.
Got to get a body on that high
Yep.
Big fella's got some bouncy legs.
Osman Arunse now with 6 points. Buffaloes by 4. Right of the lane. Alone McKayla against Jones. Nice spin to the baseline. Reverse layup. He used the rim that time as a defender to block out the guy that was trailing and lays it up and in. Smart offensive move. And 11 points for Alone McKayla.
And he felt the pressure one way and rolled off of it to the baseline.
Edwards gets the return pass against Johnson. That's quick on quick there. Kick out in the corner. 3 ball the way. Shot won't go. The miss that time by Floyd. Bucks with a rebound. Here comes Isaiah Johnson against Edwards. To Ronchik on the left side. Gets it back. Posting is McKayla.
He feels like he has an advantage.
Yep, Milan is back. Backs his way in the paint. There's a flop, and they call an offensive foul. Oh. That one's going to get a cross-eyed look from Tad Boyle. That'll bring us to a timeout. Let's get another look at this one right here. McKayla inside against Mila. The call.
He did displace him.
A little bit of a push. Just a love tap here in Boulder. It's above the rim, but he takes up space. He's played almost 16 minutes, 6 of 9 shooting, 5 rebounds, 2 offensive, 12 points. I said to Tad right before the season, I said, if he can give you 10 and 7 a night, would you take it? He said, I would be ecstatic. That's what he's doing right now.
Yeah, well, coming into tonight, he was averaging 8.5, so it's going to bump up to 9 or 10. And
yep, he's right in that area.
8 or 9 rebounds average.
Friars with the basketball. Edwards has been outstanding. Down the lane. Looks for the pass in the corner, and it was caught by Mila. Sanders was late getting there to try and intercept at a foul call on the freshman. That is his first.
That's a help-to-help situation there, and he was just a step late coming down from the high to the low.
Buffaloes right now shooting 52%. Meanwhile, the Friars, who came in right at 50%, they're at 44% in the ball game.
And the Friars scored on this out-of-bounds play a couple minutes ago. There it is. Defended it better.
Edwards, same play the Buffs run against Johnson. There's quick on quick right there. Holy cow. Leans in, contact, count it, and a foul. That's a heck of an offensive play. A veteran player working against a young freshman.
Yeah, Johnson did pretty well for a few seconds, but he was a little out of position there.
Right there, yep. He got leaning in. And the veteran player, Edwards.
Tough finish, though.
Yep, went up through the contact. And he took a little shot, I think, to the face. Team foul number 5 on the Buffaloes. Edwards has got 19.
I think he might have a little blood.
He might have. He took a shot to the beak there. There might be a little bit of a bloody nose. At the training staff for the Friars. Going to work on that a little. Maybe it's a contact. Is that what he's doing right there?
Oh, maybe that's it, yeah.
I have a little mirror to put the contact back in.
You know, when you watch games now, Mark, and you see a guy that has a, get a cut or something, they have the stuff now that just stops the bleeding immediately.
Yeah.
They never had that when we were playing.
Is it super glue? Is that what you're talking?
It's similar. They call it glue, but.
All right. Edwards has got the eyes back in. Again, he's got 20 points. 6 of 13 shooting, 2 of 5 from downtown. He is perfect 5 of 5 from the free throw line. It is 23 minutes. Completes a 3-point play. He's got 20. Came in averaging just under 18. Buffaloes on top by 3. Isaiah Johnson off a double screen. Finds an alley to the window. With the left hand. Count it. Whistle and a foul. And the freshman looking for his own 3-point play on the other end as he went through contact.
He is so quick on that dribble, and he felt the big man coming. He gave a different angle to his shot so that shot didn't get blocked.
Smart offense by Isaiah Johnson. He's got 4. That is team foul number 3 on the Friars, number 2 on Arunse. Isaiah Johnson, 89% for the free throw line at the stripe.
You know, when you're coaching players, you say he's left-handed, don't let him go left. Easier said than done.
Yes.
Guys with that kind of quickness.
Free throw up and good. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't matter if you know where they want to go. They can get there regardless. Buffaloes on top by a half dozen here in Boulder. Left wing, Mila to the lane. Diagonal, missed it. Rebound deflected around. Mila up with it. Buffs couldn't corral it. Out top to Edwards. Dak is on him. That's a tough guard right there. Step back. Use your length, big fella. Out top to Mila. Play clock at 8. Down the lane. Runner. Shot won't go with a foul.
And they're saying on the pass.
Goes against the Buffaloes. Team foul number 6 with 12:07 to play. Holland got the foul. Freshman for the Buffaloes.
Good jab step move there by Mila.
Edwards off the inbound. Boy, that was a little bit of a ticky-tack right there. That was a tough one. Fans don't like it.
And he went down like he was just hit by a Mack truck.
Yep. That wasn't Josiah Sanders out there on him. That was Isaiah Johnson. There was a little bit of...
On that kind of play, if the guy doesn't fall down, you figure they don't call it, right?
Exactly right.
But because he fell.
Isaiah Johnson goes out after picking up that foul.
The fouls are piling up for Colorado.
That is number 7 on the Buffaloes. So now Edwards is at the free throw line as the Friars are in the bonus. First free throws up and good. He is 7-7 for the foul line. He's got 21 points out of the 57 for Providence.
He's what they call a combo guard. He's a point guard, but he looks for his own offense more than for his teammates.
Second toss by Edwards. That guy's just a basketball player is what he is. He is awful good. 4-point lead for Colorado with 12 minutes to play in the second half here at the Event Center. Great to have you along on a Friday night here on ESPN+. Rodchick penetrating jump pass. Touches up top. Caceres for 3. Missed it. And the Friars Mila has the rebound. Had it knocked away by Sanders. Hustle play for it. He lobs it high in the air. Holland can't get up to it. It's caught by Sellers and he lost it out of bounds.
I'm glad they didn't call that foul.
I am as well. They came down side by side. Both had a chance at it. The Buffs get the possession back. Colorado leading Providence here in Boulder. Outs of appreciation. Happy birthday to our buddy Sean Carney tonight.
Pretty good first year in coaching, right?
Not bad. You bet. Dak down the lane. Got it off inside, and Rodchick has it blocked away. Providence with it.
Boy, Arunse is a great shot blocker.
To the rim. Shot won't go by Fox. Got a foul on Colorado. Number 8 on the Buffaloes. Caceres picks up his 3rd. Take a look at this one once again. Buffs with a bad offensive possession.
Swiping in. When you swipe down like that, even if you miss, it looks like a foul.
Fox has got 9 all the first half, but he misses that one for the foul line.
And the C unit, the student section, thinks they helped that miss.
They are taking full credit for that miss, in fact. Hargress coming back in for the Buffaloes. Caceres goes out. Fox misses the second. And now the C unit is positive that they cause those
good defense on those free throws.
Buffs with the ball on top by 4. Hargress nearly had it poked away off his foot and out of bounds, though. Quick hands and a reach in by Sellers and a turnover against Colorado. That's number 9.
Who says Providence doesn't play defense?
Certainly did there. Elijah Malone, he's been good tonight. Big fella back in the ball game with 12 points. Put the body on Arunse. Friars basketball. There's Sellers. To his running mate in the backcourt, Edwards, who's been outstanding. Working against Hargress. More physicality there defending him. Picks up his dribble. Play clock is at 5. Fox against Sanders. Got him off his feet. Fires a lead in. Missed it. And got his own rebound. To the rim. Missed it there. Fought for out of bounds. Last touch by the Friars.
Good follow on his own miss there. But he wasn't able to finish the play. But I like Fox's game.
Very skilled player. When I was talking with Tad Boyle before the game, I said, what do you think of that freshman? He said, boy, he is a skilled, smart basketball player. Holland and the Buffaloes attacking. Oh, they had Sanders on a backdoor cut. Didn't get it to him. Hargress will orchestrate that. Pulls up from the elbow. Missed it Offensive rebound, fought for by Ronchik, and a foul by Powell inside.
If he wouldn't have fouled like that, Ronchik would have had that offensive rebound.
Take a look at this one again. Two big bodies going for the rebound. Foul. Little extension there, I guess.
Yeah, Ronchik tried to sell that a little bit.
Yes, he did. Georgia Tech transfer. Duncan Powell out of Dallas, Texas. Colorado basketball. 10:18 to play here in the second half. Been a fun game here tonight in Boulder. Hargress. Ronchik in the corner. He'll fire the three. Missed it. Sanders the offensive rebound.
Shot clock did not reset.
Hargress has got it. He glances up. He saw it. It's at 10. Working against Sellers. Little pocket pass to Malone. Down the 4. Spins. Contact and a foul.
Legs got tied up there.
Yep. Got Hargrove on that one. That is number 4 on number 13. Big bodies here. Going at each other. Yeah, a little bit of a push.
And a little bit of stumble.
Yep. 50% of that, 50% of the other, right? Ball played in. Sanders on a short corner, going to take it strong in the paint, falling backwards, and he kisses that one while he was coming down. That's a tough shot.
With his offhand there. He's a lefty, and he shot it with his right hand.
Sanders has got 4. Buffalo's on top by 6. Inside 10 to play. Fox against Sanders. So crafty down the line, and great touch that time. He wanted the call, didn't get it. Freshman's got 11.
He's got good size too, Mark.
6'7", 205. Kind of like you, broad shoulder, there on the hip kind of guy.
Like I've never been.
Ronchik. Off to Holland. Bounces inside, intended for Malone, and he led him as Malone was kind of stepping back.
Well, Elijah was fighting for position and putting his butt into the defender, and he wasn't able to go step and get that ball.
It's turnover number 10 on the Buffaloes. 4-point lead for Colorado. Holland just went out. McKaylee back in for the Buffaloes. Sellers for the Friars will orchestrate. Right side the box against Sanders. Great matchup right there. Sanders poked it away. Ball loose. Picked up and stolen by Ronchik. Here comes Colorado. Hargress left side. Ronchik. He'll pull up for 3. Right between the eyes from downtown. The turnover and the transition 3, and the Bucks lead by 7. And quickly the Friars come back that way, but a timeout or a foul. They got a foul on the drive. There's the turnover, and Sanders forcing the turnover. Hargress with the return pass to Ronchik, and when he's wide open, he's deadly.
Yeah, when he gets his feet set like that and catches it in rhythm, he is a very good three-point shooter at 6'10".
Barrington Hargress picked up the foul. That is his first, 9th on the Buffaloes. So it's still the bonus, just not the double bonus yet for Sellers and the Friars.
Providence going to be at the line a lot here. We got 8 more minutes of double bonus. Next foul for Colorado.
Yeah, the Friars are a very good free throw shooting team, as is Sellers here at 89%. But as a team, Scott, they're up around 85. Second toss by Sellers. He came in averaging 17 a game. He's got 2.
Mark, you know, they run the kind of a, what we used to call it, sideline fast break after makes or misses. They really push the ball.
Hargress left open, drives against Edwards. Runner won't go. Weak side rebound. Sellers has got it. He's going to push for the Friars. Down the lane to the rim. Missed it. Got his own rebound. Took contact. Put back, won't go.
That was his own man. The contact was with his own man.
That's an interesting call right there. Let's take a look at that one again. Sellers down the paint. He's going to miss it. Well, Hargress got in there a little bit, though. He had the left-handed there. So Hargress got the foul. That is his second.
I think if they challenge it, there's a chance that Ronchik might have reached in as well. They do have challenges now in college basketball.
Yep. 8:23 remaining. The Buffaloes on top by 5. Sellers at the free throw line knocks the first one down.
I think Tad was calling for a challenge there, but it was too late.
having a conversation with one of the officiating crew over there. Tad shaking his head, a little frustrated. Centers, free throws up and good. He's hit all 4 of his free tosses. 67-64.
Free throw attempts 21 for Providence, only 10 for Colorado.
Colorado's in the first 2 games has gotten relied a lot. Hargress for 3, left it short, rebound, yanked away by Hargrove.
And he was wide open.
I'm not sure that's the shot you wanted. Fox out top, feeds it inside. Head fake once, twice. Hargrove missed it at the rim, and McKaylee's got the rebound. Here come the Buffaloes. Out top to Malone. Get it off to Hargress. Back up top, Malone. Left wide open, fires a 3. And the big fella drains it from the top of the key. Now Malone has got 15.
Mark, there's open shots, and then there's where there's no one even guarding him.
Yep. And he caught it in rhythm. Buffaloes on top by 6.
He hit a big one late in the game against Eastern Washington.
Edwards, kick out of the corner. Open for 3. Smack wide open. Missed it that time. Was Floyd, and the rebound away to Malone of the Buffaloes. And now we've got a break in the action. 7:19 to play. The big fella.
I think Edwards has a cramp.
Yep, he's down holding his left calf. How about the big fella here? Left open. He's a capable and willing shooter for the Buffaloes.
Well, sometimes he hesitates, but that time, like you said, he was in rhythm and he let it go, and it looked good right from the release.
Malone with 15 points, 6 rebounds, and the Buffaloes 7:19 to play, lead it by 6 here in Boulder. 4 rebounds, 1 offensive, couple of assists, and a turnover for the young man. Played well, mature game for being a first-year college player.
And he's a legit 6'10".
Yes, he is.
Doesn't help. It doesn't hurt.
Isaiah Johnson with it. Gets into McKaylee. Pulls up. 3 ball is on the way and missed it. Rebound on up a bounce to Mila. Sellers, who seems to be coming alive here in the second half. Mila's going to take the 3. Misses that one. And McKaylee's got the rebound. Inside 7 minutes remaining. Buffaloes on offense. Johnson. Relatively quiet night. Floater with the left hand. Missed it. Floyd with the rebound. Up court to Sellers. On his way to the hoop against Rodchick. Missed it, but a foul. Rodchick with a backpedaling foul. He's got 3. 2 shots coming now for Providence.
Tough position there to be. He was not really squared up. Not a lot of contact, but Providence knows how to get to the free throw line.
Sellers, who's been quiet here tonight, Scott, 0 of 4 from the field. He's got 4 points and 6 rebounds, all from the foul line. This backcourt for the Friars, Edwards and Sellers, really impressive. They're going to make some noise in the Big East.
Yeah, and when you got guards that can score, and you see Sellers is built well too. He can go in and play against the big fellas.
A little foul trouble for the Buffaloes. 5 players with 3. Including Ronchi, who's picked that one up. Another free throw is up and good by Sellers. Friars have only got 5 fouls. Buffaloes have put Providence into the double bonus here early. Still
with
fouls to
about 8
give.
minutes left, they were in it.
Still fouls to give for Providence. Caceres down the paint, comes to a jump stop. Puts the brakes on, pirouettes, left-handed hook shot is up and good by Caceres. He's got 6 all here in the second half.
Well, he's got length too. Long arms.
By 6. Mila working against Rodchick. Floyd on the right side. Drives down by Caceres on his way to the rim. They didn't get the rotation defensively there.
Well, Arunse was actually holding Caceres, so he couldn't come help.
8 points for Corey Floyd. Buffs by 4. Hargress off a screen. Step back, 17-foot jumper, yes. Nice offensive basketball by Barrington Hargress. He's got 15. Sellers quickly down the court and a potential 3-point play. How has he been aggressive here in the second half?
Wow, he is really good on the fast break, changing directions as he comes at you. Tough to defend that.
Caceres just picked up his 4th. In the first half, it was Edwards. Now it's number 2, Sellers, who is leading the charge for the Friars on the road.
Colorado's going to have to maybe stop going to the offensive boards and get more people back quicker.
Sarge with his 4th foul goes out of the ball game. First play of the game of 4. Sellers looking to complete a 3-point play, and he does. Perfect for the foul line. 7-7. 74-71. Colorado with 5.5 to play. Lead in the basketball. Johnson. Wide right of the lane to McKaylee.
Size mismatch there.
Backs his way down against a smaller defender, and contact and a foul. Corey Floyd picked up the hand-checking foul. Team foul number 6 on the Friars.
I think McKaylee might have got away with a little carry there as he backed down the defender.
Inbounding at the baseline. McKaylee down the paint, made the catch, took a bump from behind, and a foul called on Mila. That is his first, number 7 on the Friars, and a potential 3-point play now for McKaylee. That was a crafty move right there.
Yeah, he felt Mila overplaying him here, and he just went back door. That's a simple play, but a smart play by McKaylee.
McKaylee at the foul line. He's got 13. I think 14 as he knocks it down. 11 in his debut last Saturday, and a 14 here tonight against Providence. Holland enters for Ronchik for Colorado. Buffaloes by 6. Edwards working up the right side. Gets it back. Help side defense by McKaylee. Has to pick up his dribble. And a timeout call. On Tuesday at home.
And Mark, you know, here we are with 4 freshmen again for Colorado coming out of the timeout, and Hargress is the one senior. It's hard to imagine keeping these guys together, but it'd be interesting if it could.
Oh my goodness.
If you could keep this young group together.
In today's day and age of player movement, Tad's doing everything he can to try and kind of buck the trend, but you keep this group together. Edwards off the inbounds, under the basket. Leans in from the short corner, and he missed it. Rebound of a bounce to Hargress. His 4th. Johnson to Sanders. Bounces into paint. McKaylee floated with the right hand. Nice ball movement. And the freshman's got 16. Give the assist to Josiah Sanders.
And Sanders took his time, jump stop, and there's a nice bounce pass there.
Edwards out top. Inside to the rim. Nice power move. Cole Hargrove. The Drexel transfer's got his first points.
And you see McKaylee showing hard to help on the ball handler, and that left his big man rolling to the bucket alone.
79-73 Colorado. Creeping up on the 4-minute mark. Buffs have led for the majority of this game. McKaylee's got the hot hand. Working inside over the left shoulder, and on the way up, contact and a foul on Hargrove. And that just fouled him out of the ball game with 2 points. 4:05 remaining. He's out.
And I think that's why McKaylee was so aggressive. He knew he had 4 fouls. And Hargrove just kind of walked into him there as he shot the ball.
So Kim English is going to have to come up with a replacement now. He'll call his team over. McKaylee will be at the foul line. Cole Hargrove of Norristown, Pennsylvania. 6'8", senior transfer. Mentioned he's a Drexel transfer. Now Runse comes in his place for Kim English.
And Runse has been a shoddy racer tonight. 6 blocks for him tonight.
You can see the wheels turning for Kim English. One of the exciting young coaches in all of college basketball. You remember him as a player for Missouri?
I don't, no. I think I was overseas when he was there.
He was awful good. When Tadpole first got here, still in the Big 12 for that first year. Kim was playing for the Tigers. McKaylee at the foul line. Knocks it down. 17 points for a lone McKaylee. 5 rebounds. 2 assists. 18. 81-73. Colorado on top by 8.
He's like a young pro, isn't he? Because he's been playing pro over there for several years.
Yep. Floyd with it. Nearly lost the dribble. Picks it up looking for safety valve to Arunse. on a give and go. Floyd in the paint, head fake, leans in against McKaylee, got him off his feet, and a foul. McKaylee just picked up his 4th foul, 81-73. Fun ball game here in Boulder tonight. Buffaloes have got the lead with 3:45 to play. As well as Floyd misses that foul shot. They've got some good-looking young players as well for Kim English.
They do, and when we say freshmen, they're kind of like our McKaylee. They are very experienced freshmen coming from overseas.
By Floyd, hits 1 of 2. Floyd goes out, and speaking of Stephen Fox, he comes back in.
He reminds me a little bit of Luka Doncic.
Come on, Fox.
Yeah.
In terms of kind of the
size and the way he handles it.
Yep. Kind of. That was a turnover by Colorado. I can see that. If he becomes half that kind of player, he'd be a heck of a player, right?
Yeah.
Luke is unbelievable. 81-74. Buffaloes by 7. 3.5 to play. Turnover against the Buffs. They're 11th, by the way. 10 for the Friars. Sellers has been good here in the second half. A little bit of a push-off. Got away with it. Fires and misses. And rebound yanked away from Ronchik, but he battles Jones for it. And he fell on the sideline as he went down for the loose ball.
He didn't snatch it the way he needed to at first, but then he fought for it.
Good hustle play by Jones. Yeah, you got to get a solid box out. He didn't, so they both went after it. He went down. Part of his 6'11" length was out of bounds as he touched the ball. Sellers against Caceres. There's a hand checking foul.
He just got his 5th foul.
Yep. That's number 5. So Hargrove out on fouls for the Friars, and now Caceres will go to the bench. He scored 6 tonight. 3:17. Here's a quick foul. He swung that ball through, and he had the hand.
Yeah, just a quick swing through, and Felix was out of position, and well, that was a quick 4th to 5 foul. He was only in there about 30 seconds.
Sellers at the free throw line. He's got 9 points. 7 of those coming from the foul line. 7 to 7 for the strike. So Caceres out, and McKaylee will replace him.
And the Buffs going big here.
You got Malone, Ronchik, and McKaylee out there. A lot of size in the court. 6'9", 6'11", 6'10" between those 3. Sellers, left-handed free throw is up and good. 8 of 8. 6-point advantage for the Buffs.
Well, 9 for 9 he is from the line now.
Buffaloes by 5 as Johnson brings it forecourt. Edwards ball hawking in front of him. Ronchik backdoor cut Malone. The catchment for the dunk, and he got fouled by Sellers.
Well, you'd like to see him finish that play.
Yep, finish it or just quickly kiss it out the window. Take a look at that one once again. Nice little backdoor cut by the big fella. Sellers with his 3rd. That's number 9 on the Friars.
I would say, you know, that's a little guy you got to finish on, but Sellers is not exactly a little guy.
No. 6'5" and a solid 205 pounds. Malone at the stripe. And he coaches that one in.
I'm betting that Sellers weighs more than 205. He looks pretty thick.
Yeah. Good looking athletes. 16 points for Elijah. Make it 17 as he knocks that one down.
Buffs are already doing some defense and offense substitutions here.
Yep. McKaylee goes out.
That's good because Providence is playing small here, and McKaylee would have had a hard matchup.
Holland in defensively. Sellers against Hargrove to Edwards. Back up top, Sellers. He's going to let fly for 3. Left it short, and that ball's off the rim and out of bounds. So now that offensive defensive switch you're talking about as McKaylee comes in, Holland sits down. Sellers has struggled from the field tonight. 1 of 7. 0 of 1 from downtown.
Yeah, he's gotten everything going to the basket when he has done well.
I like that backcourt they have, Edwards and Sellers. Buffs on offense. Ronchik out near midcourt to Johnson, who's been quiet tonight. Off the screen. Down the paint on his way to the hoop. Throws it up with the left hand. And a foul inside. He tried to go up over the top of Oswin Arunse.
Shifty with that dribble.
Yep. Against size, went up, kept that ball in the left hand. And Arunse with his third. Now both teams in a double bonus.
Arunse is really having his getting his say in with the referees.
Well, he's looking at it saying, you know what? I want a 7th block shot. 6 is not nearly enough for me. Johnson at the strike.
And
6 points.
Holland coming back in from McKaylee for defensive purposes.
Floyd out and Sellers back in for Providence. 84-76 Colorado. Johnson misses that one. Sellers with a rebound. Up court, Mila to the rim, over the top of Ronchik and a potential 3-point play. Ryan Mila hits strong to the hoop, and Sebastian Ronchik has picked up his 4th foul. .228 remaining, and Providence hanging around.
And everything they get is fast break, like not necessarily like, you know, 3-on-2 or anything, but they just push it every time.
Scott, they've got a 22-11 advantage in fast break points. That's not something that happens to Colorado at home very often.
And that doesn't count the free throws they got on the fast break calls.
Well, misses the free throw. McKinney's got the rebound. Mila's got 10. Buffalo's by 6. Hargress out top against Sellers. Comes to a jump stop. Finds Johnson on the left wing. Drives against Edwards. All kinds of contact. Fires. Shot won't go. And free throws coming for Isaiah Johnson. That was a tough shot. And an athletic play by Isaiah Johnson against very physical defense by Edwards.
And Edwards did well to stay in front of him as well as he did.
So Edwards with a foul. That is his 3rd. And baby-faced Isaiah Johnson back at the free throw line, shooting 2.
This is something I always like to think about, Mark, is I would like to see like him and Edwards in a foot race. Just one end to the other.
Well, I tell you what, there is straight ahead speed, Scott, and then there's basketball quickness.
Yes.
And I don't know which one's faster to foot race, but I do know that both of them are awful quick. Johnson hits them both.
Like 0 to 60 in 2.2 seconds.
Yep. I mean, side to side, back and forth. Both of them are like lightning. 8-point lead for Colorado. Inside 2 to play. Sellers. Edwards. 3. Missed it. Rebound. Malone's got it. Fox couldn't control. Johnson. Speaking of straight ahead speed, to the rim with the left hand, and he misses in a foul. There's what you were talking about.
He had it in high gear right there.
I mean, he hit half court, and he downshifted, took it straight to the glass. So Isaiah Johnson back at the free throw line.
I was just thinking maybe Colorado wants to use some clock here, but he only used about 3 seconds to get down the floor.
Stephen Fox picked up that foul as Johnson knocks down the free throw. He has hit 5 of 6 in the ball game. He's got 9 points. Fox goes out. Floyd back in for the Friars. Johnson's got one more coming. 10 points. 8 of which have come in the second half. 6 of which have come from the foul line.
He's a second half guy.
Buffalo's on top by a game high 10. 3 ball in the corner. Shot won't go. The miss that time by Mila. The offensive rebound taken away by the Friars. Spinning Floyd in the paint. Nice play by Floyd as he backed his way down. Floyd's got 11. Buffalo's by 8 with 1:20 to play. Holland against Floyd, and a hand reach-in foul that time by number 14, Corey Floyd. That's his 3rd. That'll put Jalen Holland at the free throw line, where he has not been yet in his college career. Nice move here.
And you're seeing with Providence extending the defense out further, there's going to be driving lanes like that, just like Holland did there.
So Jalen Holland, 6'5" freshman out of Los Lunas, New Mexico. First college free throw is up and good. 5 points for the young man. 1:19 remaining. Buffaloes by 9.
I like his all-around game, what I've seen so far. Solid defender.
Fox is back in. I know you like his game.
The old vet freshman.
Second toss by Holland, knocks it down. Colorado now tonight 18-22. There's a drive and a Holland foul as Sellers trying to go by. Holland just picked up his 4th foul. And so this thing is kind of simmered down into a free throw shooting contest in large part.
Holland there was really all over him. At this point, you really want to make them earn it from the field. Like if they beat you and score a layup or make a shot, you live with it. The clock's running. But when you foul, the clock stops and they can press on the free inbounds.
So Sellers at the free throw line where he's making a living tonight. Left-handed toss, knocks another one down. 10 of 10 for the foul line. He's got this Providence team was picked 4th in the preseason poll in the Big East. St. John's was number 1. What do you think of this Providence team?
I like them. You know, I was wondering about their defense, but they haven't been bad on defense tonight. They got good size, all up and down the lineup.
He missed one. 10 of 11. Ronchik trying to dribble through traffic. And a foul called. Davis and Mila were both there. And the foul's going to go against Ryan Mila. That's his 2nd.
And I don't think that was one that Mila wanted to commit a foul.
I don't think so. Now he and Greg Nixon, now they're going to determine, was there a timeout before the foul?
I think Tad was calling a timeout over there.
Yep.
I think he saw Ronchik a little out of control there and called the timeout.
So with 1:07 to play, Tad Boyle's going to talk things over. Try and get a quality shot here. Kim English looking for a defensive play here. Maybe get a turnover. Easy bucket on the other end.
So getting back to the Big East, you mentioned they're picked 4th. That's a very tough league.
Extremely tough league.
If you finish 4th, you're definitely going to be in the NCAA
tournament.
tournament.
Dance, without question. They've got enough offensive firepower with that backcourt we've talked about, Edwards and Sellers. I think Mila's a quality guy. Fox, very impressive. Really like his game.
Yeah, they got multiple guys that can create offense.
Colorado Athletics coming up here on ESPN Plus. You got volleyball coming up tomorrow against Arizona State. Another top 25 matchup there. And then women's basketball coming up on Sunday. J.R. Payne and the Buffs, boy, they had a close one on the road against the top 25 team in Louisville. Come home and they got Portland State coming to town on Sunday.
And is that volleyball match, are they in the tournament now?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet. Colorado inbound. A minute to play here in Boulder. Buffaloes by 9. Barrington Hargress working the dribble on top. Edwards poking at the basketball. Hargress to the paint, bounces off to Malone. It's low. Big fella's able to gobble it up. Keep it alive with the dribble. Gives it a backdoor cut. And McKaylee to the rim, but it's swatted away that time by a Rinson.
He is a A+ shot blocker.
That would be block number 7 for number 55. Man, he has got some hops and some timing, doesn't he?
Yeah. Timing is really good.
5 seconds on the play clock as the Buffs will work this basketball in. Hargress finds Johnson. Down to 3. Pulls up 3 on the way. Oh, what a shot by Isaiah Johnson. That was ice water for the freshman. He's got 13. Buffaloes on top by 12. Edwards under the basket. Out top Sellers. Catch and shoot 3. Yes, from downtown. That was a big shot by number 2. He's got 15 points. All here in the second half. 34 seconds remaining. And a timeout with Colorado on top. 93-84.
That was a perfect possession, Mark. They used the whole shot clock, and they ended up with a 3-point shot by Johnson at the shot clock expires.
Little shake and bake by Isaiah Johnson there. getting a stepper across around Floyd, and then Sellers answers on the other end.
And he almost stepped out of bounds there. You saw on the replay, Johnson was within an inch or two of that sideline over there.
What do we talk about Isaiah Johnson being a second-half player? He's got 13-11 here in the second half. Third game of his career, double digits in the second period.
Yeah, and third game where he did almost nothing in the first half.
We're reviewing clock malfunction.
That was Greg Nixon, the referee, on the microphone there.
So they're trying to make sure 34.4 seconds is the right amount left in the game.
So they'll go ahead and take a look at the replay. Make sure they've got the timing right. So as it stands right now, 34.4 seconds on the clock.
And we saw Sellers down here hit a shot 6 or 7 feet behind the three-point line.
Let's take a look at it here. All right, here comes Providence Edwards.
It started and then it stopped.
Yeah, it started, then it stopped. That's the problem.
I think it should be about 4 seconds less than that.
Yeah, we'll see. Take a look at it. Figure out. So once they got the shot off, the three-pointer, and then the timeout, 34.4. But again, there was probably 2.5 to 3.5 seconds, I'm guessing, somewhere in that range where the clock started and stopped. And so they'll take off a little bit of time, is my guess. Greg Nixon, a referee today with his veteran crew, taking a look at it across the way.
And Nixon has been doing games about as long as I've been doing calling games.
Been around forever. Quality referee. I'm still kind of perusing the game tape to see how much time should be on there. Here we are again, Scott, in the 90-point range for Colorado. They came in averaging 93 of the game. That's what they're at right now.
And they've done a tremendous defensive job holding the Friars to only 84.
Yeah, Friars came in averaging 99 a game. They were giving up 89 coming in. So that number is going to go up. So just like Tad Boyle has been talking about bettering Colorado defensively, that's one thing Kim English is going to be on his team about. Off the inbounds, Johnson's got it. Edwards with contact. He's going to push across the timeline, blows by everybody down the paint, and finally a foul is called. Foul goes against Edwards. That is his fourth.
He keeps that ball low. It's hard to do anything with him coming at you like that.
So Isaiah Johnson back at the free throw line.
I'm going to give you some props here, Mark. It was right in the middle of that range you suggested. 2.5 to 3.5. It was 2.8 they took off the clock.
Johnson's free throw is up and good. Scotty, it's like a computer up here between the ears.
You got a nice chip up there in your head, don't you?
Buffs on top by 10. Are you looking forward to spending Thanksgiving in Palm Desert, California?
I am. I've never been there, so it'll be a new experience for me.
Second toss by Johnson. Knocked them both down. Isaiah's got 15. Buffalo's on top by 11. Floyd for the Friars, down to 18 seconds. Backs his way down against Johnson. Leans in. Got the roll. Knocks it down. Floyd with the bucket. 13 seconds remaining. Ball played into Hargrove. Back to McKaylee. Oh, and a foul up high and a reach in by Mila. That's his third. That's going to send McKaylee to the free throw line. 18 points, 6 rebounds. Knock them both down. He's got his first 20-point game. And in Mark, his second contest in college.
As Buffs win this game, this could be a nice win.
Nice win.
KPM, what do they call those? KPOM rankings down the road.
KenPom.
KenPom.
Yep. Nice strength of schedule. Tournament building resume win. McKaylee knocks it down.
If Providence does finish in the top half of the Big East and has 20-plus wins, this is going to be something that creates some points for Colorado.
One more coming from McKaylee. Knocks it down in his second college game. He's got his first 20-point game. Edwards, 5 seconds remaining. Down the paint, fading off the window. Big shot there by Edwards. Won't be enough. 3 seconds to play. Ball played in. That'll do it here in Boulder. And Colorado improves to 3-0 with a 90.